You guys have questions? I've got a shaved head and maybe some answers. Let's do it. What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the workshop. Now, I hope you're all doing well. You're getting through this lockdown. You're not going stir crazy. Yes, I have cut my hair. I've just buzzed it off. I got fed up with it and I took the razor to it and shaved it off. I now look like a convict, but desperate times, desperate measures and all that. It'll grow back, that's the main thing. So, this is vlog number 3 or vlog number 4. I think it's number 4 actually. So I'll just share with you what I'm up to in the workshop, and you guys sent me in a bunch of questions, so this will be the Q&A as well. I have a bunch of questions on the phone. We'll get through all them and I'll try and answer them to the best of my ability. So, what am I at? I'm still building this cabinet. It's coming together nicely now, so I'll take you through that. I'll give you a closer look. Let's do it. Right, this is where I'm at with this cabinet. So, I just have it temporarily put together. It's almost ready for its first initial sanding. So, I have most of the carcass pieces made now. So, we have the shelf in place. That's rebated in. And we have the stretchers in place, dovetailed with half blind or half lap dovetails top and bottom. So there is 8 in total, and like I say, the shelf is rebated in there, and I'm building this as much as I can completely with hand tools. So I'm kind of enjoying the process and learning a lot and developing some skills. So not using any machines to make this so far. If you're following me on Instagram, I'm posting little updates on the story part of Instagram of this build, so you can see all the processes that I'm using and the various tools that I'm using to do this. But it's coming along nicely. I don't have enough walnut to finish it, so I'm going to try and make a run for some walnut tomorrow. Hopefully the local providers is open. I think they are, so I might stop by, and it's a big yard and there's no one ever in it, so it's a safe enough place to go and get a piece of walnut, because I really want to finish this. And I'm following along with, like I say, with Matt Esley's build, and I'm developing some nice skills. So yeah, the half blind dovetails, they turned out well, so I'm pretty happy with that. The stretchers are in, everything is nice and square. Drawer is in, that's all working nicely. The drawer runners are in, and I have a piece, this will be the top. I need another piece for the bottom, and I need enough walnut to make the drawer and the door. I have a piece of walnut there. I think I might have enough for the drawer. I don't have enough for the door. And I think for the door, the panel door that's going on this, I'm going to put a piece of that spalted beech in the middle of that panel door. So hopefully it'll be nice when it's finished. Everything so far so good, not any disasters. So that's where I'm at with this. And yeah, so let's get on to your questions. Okay, let's crack on with your questions, and I got a bunch of questions. A lot of them overlap, and so I'll try and hit everybody's. I should be able to get to everybody in this video without making it too long. So yeah, let's crack on. Kevin O'Connor is first up, and Kevin says 3 questions for you. So 3 questions, Kevin. Okay, man. What are your top 3 or more YouTube woodworking channels? What is the one dream project that is currently beyond your abilities, but you would one day like to tackle? And finally, do you live anywhere near Dungarvan? Okay, so first up, 3 or more YouTube channels, woodworking channels. Well, Matt Esley, obviously, I'm doing his box. Paul Sellers is brilliant. Rob Cosman, Jonathan Katz-Moses. There's a Third Coast Craftsman. The Essential Craftsman, I love his channel. I spend a hell of a lot of time on YouTube, probably way more than is healthy, but I watch just people making stuff all day. And yeah, so they're my kind of top woodworking channels. But I also watch metalworking channels, everything. I watch everything on YouTube. There's a whole bunch of YouTubers that I love, and not just woodworking ones, but I would say, yeah, definitely Paul Sellers, Rob Cosman, Matt Esley, Jonathan Katz-Moses, Third Coast Craftsman, The Essential Craftsman. They would be the first woodworking guys that come to mind. And The Essential Craftsman, he's more into the carpentry end of things, plus the blacksmith and stuff, so that's a great channel to check him out. He's in the middle actually building an entire house, which I'm really enjoying. Matt is obviously doing his woodworking series. Jonathan Katz-Moses, he does loads of things from joint making to everything, and he sells a bunch of stuff that he makes himself as well. Yeah, and Paul Sellers, obviously he's in the game a long time. He's 70 years of age, I think now, and he's just a wealth of knowledge. I actually built his workbench. That's what this workbench is modelled on, was Paul Sellers' video. And yeah, Rob Cosman, obviously another gifted woodworker, wealth of knowledge, added his whole life. And yeah, those guys are a real deal, so I really like them. So next, what did you ask? Forgot the question already, talking too much. What is your dream project, or what is one of your dream projects that's currently beyond your abilities you would like to build someday? An acoustic guitar is definitely something I have in the pipeline that I would love to build. I don't have the jigs or the tools, or I've never attempted one before. There's a lot of work in it. I've built a bunch of guitars, but all electric. Some of the stuff overlaps, but built especially on the body of an acoustic guitar, there's a lot of technical stuff involved in it, especially making the tops, the sides, forming all that. So that wouldn't be beyond my ability, I think, at the minute. But it's definitely something I do want to do in the future. I do want to build another guitar again. So yeah, that's definitely something I want to do. Furniture making, a lot of furniture making stuff is still beyond my ability, I would say. Although that's why I'm kind of following Matt's channel, because he is a furniture maker. That's kind of his end of things when it comes to the woodworking. So definitely dive more into that end of things. And that would be challenging for me, all the furniture making stuff. So, and do I live anywhere near Dungarvan? Yes, I live somewhere near Dungarvan. So there you go. Next up, Lisa O'Brien. Where did you purchase your lathe? Would you recommend it? I just took a night class and got to use a lathe, and I'm thinking of buying one. Love the channel. Future projects, three-legged stool. Cool. So thanks. Yeah, love the channel. That's great to hear, Lisa. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. Where did I buy the lathe? Well, let's go over and have a look at the lathe, because there's a bunch of you asked me questions about this lathe. We'll have a look at it. Okay, this is the lathe in question. This is a Record Power DML 320. And to answer your question, Lisa, I bought this from a guy on Dundee. Now, Dundee, for anybody outside of Ireland, it's essentially like Craigslist if you're in the United States. Just a place where people sell stuff. It was new in box, but technically second hand, I suppose. So it popped up for a good deal. That's why I bought it. Do I recommend it? Absolutely. It's a great lathe. It's a midi lathe, so it's not the mini lathe, it's the in-between size lathe. It's a great lathe to start out with. It has a variable speed control, which is handy. You're not constantly changing belts, everything went up and down the speed. It's only a case of, if I turn it on, I can vary the speed just with the potentiometer here, which is right handy, and I leave it on the middle belt, and so that gives me enough RPM range to do almost anything I want to do, which is handy. So I do really recommend this lathe, and you say you've just done a night class and got to use a lathe, so yeah, do it. If you can get one of these, go for it, get yourself a lathe, jump in, you will love it. But your question, you already sound like you want to go and get one, so I recommend you go get one and try it out. And your future project, a three-legged stool, go for it. And yeah, absolutely go for it. Get one of these, they're really well built. I love Record Power tools. I've not been disappointed with Record Power tools yet, apart from maybe the whetstone grinder, but it's rock solid, it's all cast iron, it's a heavy bit of kit. And like I say, the variable speed control makes it a really nice lathe, and it's great for beginners like myself. And yeah, I got another load of questions like that, so that answers most of them. Another question on it was from Jake O'Donnell, I believe. He was like, what's the forward reverse for? So this lathe has a forward reverse, which is handy, and technically that's just for sanding. So you're cutting, it's rotating towards you. Do while you're cutting your shape, whatever, you can start sanding, and if the grain pattern is a little bit awkward or moving in different directions, you can just hit stop, wait for it to stop, hit the reverse button, and then start it up again, and it rotates away from you the other direction. So it's just for sanding. You can sand in both directions. If you have awkward grain like that and you want to get a really nice finish, you don't want to leave any lines, you want to take stuff out, you can rotate it, spin it out towards you, spin it away from you for sanding. So that's why it has a forward and reverse. There we go, that's the lathe. Okay, next up, Josh Kelly. When's the van tour? It's coming, Josh. It's coming. But I feel you've built it up too much now, so you're going to be disappointed. Like I say, my van is not overly full, a travel light, but yeah, I'll do a van tour. I might get to it this weekend if I can. I hope the rest of you want to see it. I know the content is getting slim pickings now. It's just hard to get materials and stuff, but yeah, the van tour, I'll do the van tour just for you, Josh. I might try and get to it this weekend if I can. If everything lines up for me, I will do it this weekend. So there you go, Josh. Jake, any upcoming projects? Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I want to do, Jake, but again, getting materials right now at the minute is kind of hard. I am in the middle of doing this, but I'm kind of doing this for myself to develop my skills. So one thing about recording and making videos and trying to concentrate on the project is the project inevitably suffers, because it is, you're torn between both. So you're torn between making the video and making the project. You're always trying to half think about this, half think about, can you guys see, can I set it all up? So it's hard. So this is why I'm just doing this for myself, so I can give this my 100% attention and try and knock it out and do it all with hand tools, develop the skills, and then maybe come along and show you guys. So there is upcoming projects, definitely. When I get my hands on some materials, if I can, I have a bunch of stuff that I want to do. I won't reveal it just yet, so we don't want to give everything away, but yes, there is. And you had lay questions as well, and I think I answered all those. Okay, let's see who's next. Okay, next up, Mark Dennehy. Not really a question as such, but I'd be interested to hear your take on the woodworking community in Ireland. The wood turning community is obviously a lot more organised with guilds everywhere, but the woodworking feels a lot less evident, or maybe I'm just missing out on it. All I've seen has been the woodwork forum on boards.ie. Well, I'm no expert on this, Mark, and I have noticed the same thing. If you've noticed, there's not that there's not a big woodworking community here in Ireland, and we seem to be much more known for our wood turning, and there's some high profile wood turners that come from Ireland, have channels, have Instagram accounts, do schools, they're well known the world over. The Irish grind is a grind on one of the tools, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't have enough information to answer this question for you, but I've noticed the same thing you've noticed. Could just be Ireland is such a small place that a lot of furniture makers like that probably keep to themselves, and I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure how to answer that question. I would have to do a bit of research on it to let you know, but yeah, I've definitely noticed the same thing. We seem to be wood turners galore and not so many woodworkers out there are making themselves known. I'm sure we have some fantastic woodworkers in this country, but yeah, they don't really make themselves known, so I've noticed that too. Okay, next up, Frank Williams. What's going on, Frank? So Frank comments a lot on my videos. Frank has his own channel too, so definitely go check out Frank. Just a couple of questions. One, do you miss having a table saw? I couldn't do without mine. Not really, Frank. This took up a lot of space, so I'm enjoying having all that space. I have yet to feel like I needed a table saw in any of the projects I've done since I sold it. I get by on my bandsaw if I need to do long rip cuts. I have a planar thickness saw if I need to straighten stuff up. Like once I bought that Bosch GCM 12 STE, I think it's called, miter saw, I can do so much on that it kind of made the table saw redundant for me. Now, I'm not ruling out getting a table saw in the future because there's a hell of a lot of stuff that you can do on a table saw that's so much quicker and easier to do on the saw itself, but I haven't missed it. So there you go, that's all I can say on that. Number two, how the hell do you edit your videos so quickly? What is your secret? I think I use DaVinci Resolve, so if anybody don't know, DaVinci Resolve is a free online editing software, and it is a professional level software, and it's free, it's amazing, everybody seems to use it. It's that and or Adobe Pro, I think, and they're similar in what they give you, but obviously DaVinci Resolve is free. It's amazing that it's free because I don't know what the story is there, but it's free. But when I video or when I'm recording, I'm kind of thinking of the edit as I record. I think that's probably the secret. So I'm constantly stopping and starting the camera. Shoot this, stop, shoot this, stop. So everything is in small little bites, and the camera then numbers all the video or all the clips in a sequence. So I know the minute I stick that card into the computer, drag and drop everything into DaVinci Resolve, everything is numbered, everything is nice quick sequences, so I can just chain them all together, snip the start, snip the bottom off them, and just lock them all together. And I keep my edits very simple. There's not any music, there's no jump cuts, there's no real special effects or anything, so it's fairly quick. That's kind of how I do it, and it's just get DaVinci Resolve down, practice with it, and you get faster and faster and faster and faster. And this is around the video 120 now, so I'm getting pretty quick at it, but I keep my edits simple. I think that's probably the main secret, and I keep my clips short, and you always notice at the end of every clip I'm walking off the screen. That's because I'm walking towards the camera to hit stop record, and I've kind of logged that in my mind where that clip is, and that's how I do it. So hopefully that answers that question. When's your haircut going to happen? Well, it has happened. Hopefully you're not all shocked. And yeah, it has happened. And it's not the greatest haircut in the world, but it's the only haircut I have. So there we go. Let's see, next up. Okay, William Hector. Here we go. Hi, John. My question for you is, where do you buy your wood from when you're not pulling it out of the river? Reason why I ask is I find it difficult to buy quality wood where I am. Thinking mail order, or can I travel when this madness is over? Keep the videos coming. Well, I certainly will try and keep the videos coming, William, and there's a bunch of you actually asked me this same question about where do I get my source my timber from. I get mine from McMahon's, so just Google McMahon's. There's 4 or 5 of them around Ireland, and there's other timber providers as well. So just get on Google timber providers. There's yards all over this country where guys will supply you with hardwoods, rough cut lumber, and McMahon's is where I go, and the guys there are so helpful. They take all the time in the world. Any timber you ask of them, they lift it down on the pallet. They let you go through the entire pile until you pick out what you want. So it is as simple as that. Don't be intimidated. Any of you guys getting into new woodworking and you're probably intimidated to go to the yard and ask because you're not really sure what you want. Just pick out your timber. Say, I want to get some ash. They'll show you all the ash. Pick out a board that you like. Pay for the board. It's that simple. And like I say, if I'm not sure where you are, William, because you don't say, but Google McMahon's. If there's one near you, go check them out. And if there's not one near you, just Google timber providers or hardwood providers. There's a bunch of them all over Ireland. And there's also guys on all adverts in Dundee and that are selling live edge stuff all over the country again. So, and then some of them guys are real gentlemen to deal with as well, so check them out. I haven't got any names offhand, but again, just do a Google search, it'll all pop up for you. So that's what I do. Next up, one serious question: tato on a blah or sliced pan? Now, nobody outside Ireland is going to get this one, but it's on a blah, of course. That's not even a question. That's like asking me, do I want a Toyota or a Ferrari? It's a blah. It's a blah. And anybody who wants to Google what a blah is, go ahead and Google what a blah is. In context of Ireland, it'll all come up and you'll see exactly what that's about. But definitely a blah. That's not even a competition. So there we go. Let's see. Let's go. More questions. Okay, next question. Ken Carr. Hi, John. Where do you source your tools and your hardwoods? Again, I've just went through the hard ones one, and a load of you guys asked me about where do I get my tools. Well, most of my tools and machines are secondhand. So like I say, I'm always online. I'm always looking on like Dundee and adverts like that. Again, if you're in America, it's just like Craigslist, these kind of places. I'm always looking for good deals. There's no really one place that I get my tools. That's what I'm saying. I'm always looking out for a deal, always looking out for a good second-hand option. Other than that, places that I do use then, so there's the carpentry store in Ireland, so definitely check them out. They have a great selection of tools and stock if you're looking for blanks for wood turning or anything like that, and they'll have it to you within 2 days or even next day sometimes. They do Line Nielsen and Veritas, and all that stuff's expensive, but they also do all the Axminster range. They have that there. They have is it Promatic, the really high-end wood turning equipment and all that stuff. It's all super expensive stuff. That's way out of my price range. They also do the Jet stuff, and they have all the Axminster stuff there as well. Axminster is another place I go in the UK. Workshop Heaven is another place in the UK. I try and buy local if I can. That's my advice to you. If you guys can support all local businesses, especially now, no matter where you are in the world, try and shop local. If you can't shop local, shop national. And then if you have to go outside the country, go outside the country. But yeah, outside the country, and it's Axminster, Workshop Heaven. And yeah, that's about it. And I'm always online looking for good second-hand deals. So that's where I get my tools and stuff from. So next question. Let's see. Can you make a living off YouTube? Well, you can make a living off YouTube, but it is unbelievably difficult. So I have all the information on it now. I have all the analytics from the last 4 months. And I can see what's required now to, if you were to try and make a living off YouTube, you would need a hell of a lot of views. I generate, straight up with you guys, about 50 euros a month from my ads. This month has been the best month ever because of one video that's got about 60,000 views in a week. So I'm looking at maybe 400 euros for this month, which is, that's great, fantastic. But when you add all the hours up that goes into the videos and it's for one whole month, you couldn't live off 400 euros a month. Nobody could. So I have, let me see, I think I'm at 80,000 views for this month. So I did the maths on it. I think you would need like 250,000 views a week. So something like 2 million views a month you would need to be generating to generate a wage. And if you think about it, if you were to become a full-time YouTuber and try and live off the ad revenue alone, you're essentially then self-employed. Now I'm self-employed for 15 years, so I know all about being self-employed. You need to make way more than your wage because you have to cover all your overheads before you take a penny. All your insurance costs, your accountant's costs, your tool costs, your running costs, the cost of the shed, the cost of the tools, the cost of upkeep on the tools, all your consumables you would have to try and cover. So all your sandpaper, your oils, everything before you even pay yourself a penny. And then you'd have to pay your tax on what you get, and then out of what you're left with, you would need obviously to pay all your household bills and stuff like that. So you need way more than your average wage to yeah, to try and survive. So if you were to do that on ad revenue, yeah, I reckon it's about 2 million views a month you would need to just to get the average industrial wage. So you can see there is some big YouTubers out there, they get millions and millions of views a month. So those guys are on big money. They could be generating 20, 30,000 a month, but their views are up somewhere around 100 million views, like, which is crazy. This channel, I don't think is ever going to generate near a couple of million views a month. I don't think it's going to be possible. I would have to make 3 or 4 of those jig videos a week and have them hit that 60,000 mark a week. Like, most of my videos get to a couple of thousand views and I'm happy with that. But this one really took off and got 60,000 views in a week. So that's what I'm saying. This month I'm going to 400 quid, which is great. Straight up, be honest with you, that's what I generated for a month's work on YouTube. All the preceding months were just 50 euros. That's what I'm getting. So you couldn't live on it. It would be impossible. But if it pays for the hobby, this is what this is a hobby for me. So if I can cover the cost of the hobby and share what I'm doing with you guys, I'm happy with that. I have a business that pays the bills. So yeah, there you go. Can you make a living on YouTube? You can, but you would need a hell of a lot of views. So yeah, I think something like 95% of YouTubers that are full-time YouTubers, YouTube ad revenue only makes up 25% of their income. So from t-shirt sales, Amazon accounts, sponsorship deals, affiliate links, that's how they would make up the biggest portion of their income, and plus the stuff they make and sell then. That's the only way you could do it to become a full-time YouTuber. And ad revenue goes up and down during the year as well. So you have what's called a CPM, and that's your cost per 1,000 views. That goes up depending on how much advertisers are giving YouTube during the year. It'll be higher coming up to Christmas time, obviously, because advertisers want to advertise at Christmas time and some other parts of the year. So you couldn't count on the ad revenue. And it's different from every YouTuber as well. So your CPM, depending on where you are in the world, the type of content you make, that will obviously affect your CPM, so your cost per 1,000 views. So yeah, I have all the analytics on that. I can do a full video on behind the scenes on YouTube. If you guys want access to all that information, I can do that for you. If you're interested in seeing how it all works, how much you get paid for every view. And you only get paid for your monetized views, so only if people watch the ads, and I only put skippable ads on my videos, so if people skip the ad, it's not counted as a monetized view. And YouTube take 50%, roughly 50% of that CPM anyway. So even if I think the average is around 6 euros per 1,000 views, which YouTube will take 50% off, so it's about 3 euros per 1,000 views. So you can do the maths yourselves on that one. So yeah, there you go, guys. I think that's most of what I have there. I think I got most of these, so I'll just have a quick look through. I think I got mostly there. Like I say, a lot of you had a lot of the same questions, so I think I tried to cover everything. If I missed a few of you guys, I'm sorry, but I will get you again. Don't worry, there will be more Q&As and more workshop vlogs. So there we go. Hopefully that wasn't too much of a ramble. I was talking off the top of my head as I was reading the questions there. I didn't prepare this video beforehand, so I'm just reading out your questions there and trying to answer them as best I could. Any more information you require, just stick them in the comments below. I do get back to everybody. Anything else that you would like to know, if you want a more behind the scenes look or talk about the cameras or anything like that, I can do all that stuff as well. So there you go, guys. That is today. Today is Thursday. We are the 2nd of April, so at least it's April. I know it's not a great time, but at least it's April anyway. The weather's getting warmer, the days are getting longer, the hair is getting shorter, so there's that. So that's it. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all doing fine, and yeah, that's it, guys. I will see you in the next video. Hopefully I'll have some projects coming up soon. If I can get my hands on some materials, I will definitely have some projects for you. I will have a van tour, although, like I say, you'll probably be disappointed, but I will do the van tour just for Josh, and that's it, guys. So I'm going to have a beer now because I think it's time for a beer. I think we all deserve one, so go have a beer yourselves, a glass of wine, cup of tea, whatever you do to relax, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take it easy.